President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi congratulated the national team of handball after clinching the African Cup of Nations title and automatically qualified to the next Olympic Games in Paris. The president hailed the performance of the players and thanked them for the relentless efforts to achieve the ninth title and meet the aspirations of the great Egyptian people. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Ayman Ashur, discussing ways to improve the quality and the competitiveness of higher education. The details follow.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave his directives to resume relentless efforts to boost the quality and competitiveness of the higher education system. This came during his meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research Dr. Ayman Ashur. Presidential spokesperson Councillor Ahmed Fahmy said the meeting covered the state's plans to modernize university education and link it to the labor market and development requirements. The president was briefed on the state's strategy for improving technical education, the expansion of technical universities nationwide, as well as updating their curricula to cope with the rapid consequent scientific development. The head of the state also reviewed the government's program to absorb the massive increase in the university students, as well as foreign ones who receive their education service in Egyptian colleges. Fahmy added that the meeting tackled the developments of the Egyptian Knowledge Bank initiative, where the president directed to continue its activation in a way that boosts the classification of the Egyptian universities, institutions, and research centers internationally and realizes the maximum benefits of Egyptian human cadres. The spokesperson highlighted that the meeting focused on efforts to modernize university hospitals all over the country to introduce high-quality medical services, as well as acting as training and scientific centers for the new generations of medical staff. The president also instructed the executives to support all initiatives launched to support higher education in light of the state's strategy to put the education system in general as one of its first priorities, aiming at boosting the competitiveness of Egypt's human resources and to transfer the country into an attractive educational hub, whether through diversified Egyptian universities or branches of highly classified foreign ones.
Minister of Defense Lieutenant General Mohammed Zaki witnessed the main research of the Armed Forces Morale Affairs Department entitled The Suggested Strategic Vision to Develop the Egyptian Character to Maintain the National Sense of Belonging amid the current changes and challenges. The event came in the framework of the Armed Forces Plan of the research activities in the presence of a number of Army commanders, heads of universities, and strategic experts. Head of the Armed Forces Morale Affairs Department, General Walid Hamouda, addressed the gathering, extending his thanks to the General Command of the Armed Forces for its massive support. Minister Zaki conveyed to the attendees the greetings of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, stressing the importance of depending on the latest scientific methods to handle problems and challenges. The Armed Forces organized separate joint military exercises with Britain and India in the field of dismantling explosive devices with the participation of the military engineers of both sides. The details follow.
The armed forces carried out a joint exercise with the British side in the field of dismantling random explosive devices with the participation of sappers from both sides. This comes in the framework of the armed forces' keenness in boosting cooperation in several military fields with friendly nations. The drills include a number of theoretical and practical exercises of the most modern techniques in dealing with such explosives by using the latest technologies and searching methods, as well as the inspection of roads and installations. Meanwhile, the activities of the joint Egyptian-Indian military training Cyclone 2 kicked off on Saturday with the participation of members of the Egyptian Special Forces from the Commando and Airborne Corps with the Indian Special Forces. The joint military training is expected to continue for several days at the combat fighting fields of the Airborne Corps across the country. The training includes implementing a number of military exercises to exchange expertise and skills between the participating elements from both sides.